Hi and welcome back. Today I want to talk about the T indicator and I want to show you how you can use the T indicator to send buy and selling signals to our crypto trading bot. As you probably know, you can use every indicator that you, for example, find on TradingView to send signals to our fully automated crypto trading bot. If you don't have an account already, please go over to tradingbotsolutions.com. You could just type in tbs.1, then you will come to our website and click on any of these green buttons to sign up for our free version of the trading bot. This will give you a fully functional version where you can paper trade and just fill out that form and you are ready to go. After filling out the form, you will arrive in your dashboard, and the dashboard looks like that. I just created a new user for this video so I can show you what's going on and how you have to set up everything and can get your indicators. So I would recommend to go to your settings first and then modify your time zone. This will allow you to see the signals in the same time zone or in the same matching time as it comes from the exchange. Of course, on the exchange, also make sure you put on your right time zone. And if you've done that, you can virtually trade. That means all you need to start trading is basically set up your first bot. But what I want to do today is I want to show you how you can connect your Testnet, BitMex Testnet in this case. There's already a virtual bot that will help you to trade virtually on the Testnet. The thing is, if you want to see what the bot is actually doing here in the Testnet, if you want to see open positions and so on to make sure that everything is all right, you have to set up your own connector, because otherwise we will just trade it virtually in the background and it will not get sent to any exchange, so you can't match it up. If you want to do that, I show you how to do it now. So you would just add a new connector here. You would say, I do now short BitMex Testnet, and I would just pick here BitMex Testnet. And you need to make a real trading out of that. So this would be a real connector. To do that, you have to sign up for a paid plan. Otherwise, you can just virtually trade. If you want to send it to your real exchange, even if it's just a BitMex test account, then you need to pull that over here, and I make a short account now and I make a long account, because then you can short trade and long trade at the same time. You could even use your same bot to do that. You need to go over then to your BitMex test account. This is one of my test accounts, and then you would have to go to account, to API keys, and I just name it here short BitMex test and TD, so I know it later. And I would just say you have to pull in here order. Don't do withdraw, because otherwise technically we or the bot would have the information to withdraw also money. We can't read your API key or whatever out of the database because it's encrypted, so don't worry about that. But you don't need to tick that. I just want to let you know. So after that, you would just press on create API key, and it will create your API key. You simply copy this ID, go over to your dashboard, copy in the ID here, copy this ID there. Of course, don't show it to anybody. If you do that, I will delete it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I press on add, and it will already add my short BitMex test account. If I want to check if it's working, I just go into the connector again and press on test. Then we will perform a test. You see the API is working just fine. You can change the keys and whatever, and you see we never see your API key and secret basically, and also in the database it's stored safely. If you want to trade short and long, you need to set up also a long BitMex test account. So you need 2 test accounts. Also, if you would trade on a real BitMex exchange, then you also need to have 2. So this will be the long BitMex test account. I would also do the testnet here, the real one again, and I prepared another one here. And we go to accounts and we go to API keys. We go here, it was the long BitMex test account TD. Then we say order and we say create key. We copy the key over here. We go back to the other window, copy it in here. I have it on the second screen now. I copy it in here, the API secret, and I add it. Then I want to test it again. I have a long here, I have a short here. I click on the long, I click on test. To test the connection, you will see it's getting confirmed here. Everything is working fine. And now I can start with the setup. I can go to my bots and you see this is a new account, so everything is empty. I start to make a new bot here, new trading bot. Now I've got 3 options. I can add a TradingView bot, so I can receive signals from TradingView. I can copy some other setups, and very soon we will have our own system to set up signals, so you don't need external trading signals or sources anymore. So I just press on here, create my bot, and then I will click on the signal form because I don't want to go through the setup wizard. I just click here and I will show you now how easy it is to automate your crypto trading strategy. It doesn't matter what it is. Because the account is new, I will guide you now through all the fields. We don't need that. You can go through it if you want. So I explain here all the fields, what they can do and so on. So let's just give it a name. I would just call it short BitMex Test TD, and it will be a TradingView bot. It will trade short. Remember, the exchanges will not allow you to trade short and long in the same account basically. So it will be a BitMex Testnet, and it will be, we trade Bitcoin USD. On BitMex it's called XBT. We have the strategy, let's just call the strategy short TD, and we put maybe the time frame if we want. So we could name the time frame. Let's have a look what kind of time frame we want to trade. Let's say, just for an example, you can trade every time frame, but the TD indicator does not work that well on the lower time frames. So let's just pick a 2-hour time frame or maybe a higher one. Then we don't have any signals here, so it's clearer. We have already, let's see if we have a 4-hour signals here already. So it's loading now the 4-hour chart, and let's just try it on the 4-hour chart. If you don't know how the TD indicator works, I will explain it to you as well, of course. So let's continue here. Let's do that on a 4-hour. So you can name your strategy and your bot however you want to name it. And I want to put in here hours, 4 hours. The connector now, because we already set up our own connectors before, we can trade virtually like I told you before. So this will not send any signals to your exchange, but we can also trade here with our connectors. So because this is the short strategy, I picked the short here. I will trade with 0.01 volume, so this is per trade. Then I say I limit my number of trades to 3, and I will leverage trade 10x. This is also a great feature we implemented. So now so you can test it on BitMex, but we also have it on the Testnet. We also have it for Poloniex to leverage trades. So you can basically make 10 times more money. And I have very exciting news for you as well. From next week on, we will be able to implement a leverage protection. So that means execution protection, that we will fire a stop loss if you want it before you get executed. So basically we would also be able to 100x leverage trade, and we will try to make sure that you're not getting executed. You can say here, okay, I want to use the closing signal. You could also just close the trade via taking profit or via a stop loss. So you don't have to close the trade, but I will use it in this case. I will wait for the closing signal to close my trades, and I will close it for every trade I open. I will close the trade with the next selling signal that comes in. I would also have the opportunity to close all open trade with one closing signal, but I don't do that in a moment. I'm not taking profit in the moment, so I could say if it goes up to 10% profit, then the bot will close it automatically. I'm not doing that. I'm not using a stop loss in the moment. It depends really on a strategy. Because as you will see in my strategy, I will use 2 signals that will close my trade. So I don't use a stop loss because I'm very confident that this will close my trades anyway. So now it's very easy to implement that. You see here, first of all, if you have never used the bot before, what you need to do is actually to make sure that your TradingView account will send the signals here to this email address. And this is a setting that you need to do in TradingView. Let's go back and make sure you understand what I'm talking about. So if you go to your start screen of the TradingView account, you have got the opportunity to get into your settings. Here, this is my user. I click on it and I go into the user settings, here profile settings, and in the profile settings you will see you have 2 options. You have your main email address, so you have basically the option here that you have the email up here, but don't change this email, change the email here. So the SMS email is important for you. Here you need to put that in. With that you will send the signals to our bot, and we will put it just to your bot, of course, because we will know inside of your signal, you see there is your email address. With this indicator we know that's your signal and we have to send it to your bot. So in this case, if you want to open a short trade, and here if you want to close a short trade, this is the line that you just have to copy out. Just copy this line, go to your TradingView account. So we go back now to the charts, to the 4-hour chart of XBT. It's very important that you of course are on the right chart. You need to be on the XBT chart or whatever you're trading. We have to be on the XBT chart now because we're using that. And just have a look and I show you what strategy we are setting up. Now we are on the right time frame, we are on the 4 hours. There's a small problem with, or there's basically a problem that is not solvable in the moment because TradingView does not have Testnet charts. This means that we are setting up now our trading strategy on a chart that doesn't actually match the Testnet. Let's have a look here. In the moment we are at 9,990 here on XBT. If I go over to the Testnet, you will see very different numbers. So we are here at 10,040. So it's basically around $50 difference, and the charts are also quite different. If I go to a 4-hour chart here, then you can see we have now you know, this green candle here, and let's just come over here. It matches up, it matches almost up, but the price is very different. So the problem is that your results will not be very good if you trade on a chart that is actually made for the real BitMex account, but you are basically trading on the testnet with different numbers, right? But we decided to implement it that like this, so you can test it. You can see, okay, the position is coming in, the trade is getting filled. When the next position is getting in, then it's added to the position, and so on. So it's solo for this purpose, that you can see how it works on exchange. If you want to have real numbers, you can trade on the BitMex virtual bot if you want to do that, or of course you can connect your real BitMex account to it, just to let you know. The strategy is always the same. What we're going to do now is we want to set up our first short trade, and this is very easy. And like you see here, this would have been very profitable already, because what I do now is I set up my trading strategy that it will buy on a red 2 when the red 2 is closed. When this bar is closed, then I will buy it, and I will sell it when the red 8 is actually closed. So in this case it would be a break-even trade basically, but here it would be here on a red 2 on a green 8. So this would be quite profitable, and we can also do that in the other way around, and that would be even much more profitable. If I go here, we would have bought it here on a green 2. This would be the long strategy we're gonna set up later, and sell it on green 8. So this is 9,800 to 10,500. That's not bad. It's 700. It's around $700 we would have made with that, depending of course on how much we traded. So let's go ahead and set up our first strategy. I go back to make it clear for you. I will now open a short trade. To do that, of course, you need the TD indicator. You can set up the T indicator then to your charts, and you can just add your alerts. I go ahead and pick the TD indicator. I have 2 DD indicators, and I will show you later what it is all about. So I pick the TD indicator here, and I will say setup 2. Oh, that's wrong. Setup 2 here. These are the green candles. It's not so easy to know, but we tested a lot. This basically the green candles, so setup 2 would be a green 2. These are the red candles, so I press here setup 2. This will be a red 2, and then I say greater than. I just put in a 0 here. Every indicator needs a different alert strategy. So this is what is working best for us in the moment. So this is just the name of the indicator. Red 2, greater than, value 0 just. And I do it once per bar close, but because I just want it to fire when the bar is closed. Then I need to make sure I would set it to open ending, and you have to make sure, this is one of the most important things, that you have to tick this box here to make sure the indicator arrives to our bot. Then I copy in here the signal and just press on create. TradingView will give me this warning, but that doesn't matter, it's all fine. I just continue anyways. So I already set up now my buying signal. If the next green 2 will come up, the bot will buy it automatically, because the signal will come in and the bot will buy it. Now I want to, of course, sell it as well. I want to sell my short. I just copy this second line of code here. I go back to my indicator. I press on the indicator again. I pick the indicator I want to trade on. now I pick the setup 8, which will be a red 8. You can pick any strategy you want. You could sell it on a red 7 or red 6, or buy on a red 1, or whatever you want to do. The same strategy here, greater than. I pick a 0 here. I say once per bar close, and I put in the selling strategy here. Also make sure it's open-ended and it is send email to SMS. Box is ticked again. I create it, I confirm it. That's all I need to do. So now we set up here the buying signal, the buying short, the selling short. And one other thing I want to do, because I didn't set up a stop loss, I want to make sure that I'm safe, and I found it very good working for us that we also implement a sell or a selling, on a color flip. And everywhere you see this X, this is a color flip. And this is a different indicator. It's also a TD indicator, but this TD indicator has got a color flip. So whenever there is a color flip, the bot will sell it too. So I simply go to the charts again, click on the charts, the right mouse, click on the charts, add an alert, and now I pick the other indicator. This is the other one. Then I go on color flip. Then I do the same here, greater than, put a 0 in here. But now what I want to do is once per bar. So that color flip, as soon as a color flip appears, the signal, the alert will be fired, and my bot will sell it straight away. So I've got now 2 selling signals, 1 buying signal for the short. What you want to do now, also very easy, make the strategy the other way around. So it looks like they resetted my account and I can't set it up here. What that is that TradingView, I used to have a very old account, and I told them to set my alerts to, I think 2000 or wherever it's possible. So I have to send them another mail again. Doesn't matter. So I tried to create it again. I don't know if it will work or not. Otherwise I have to delete some other strategies. Let's have a look. I delete some 1-minute strategies or something like that. Let's see what we have here. Because I've got a lot of strategies in here. So these are all test 7 strategies. I'm not sure if I can stop them and it will work. So let's come back to the right time frame. I just delete them. I think I don't need them on this test account, because I'm not trading BitMex on the test account in a moment. So let's come back to the right time frame. I delete one more so I can show you the long strategy as well. I go back to my 4 hours now. The chart is still the same, XBT. I just created, now it should work. Okay, fine. So we have 2 selling signals now, 1 buying signal for the short. Now we want to do that the other way around. To do that the other way around, I would recommend just to set up a new bot. The problem is that you can't use 2 connectors in one bot. If you do it that virtually, it works. If you have a virtual bot, you could basically trade short and long in one account. That's why we have the both here. You don't have to set up 2. But if you want to send signals to an exchange and the exchange doesn't allow short and long at the same time, you need to basically set up a second bot. You're not limited to the numbers of bots you can set up. So create and start here. Then our bot is created and started. And it will immediately show up in your bot section. If you want to change the bot, just click on it. Then you can edit the fields. You can't edit all the fields because this would mess up the bot. So if you want to change anything, and also now if you want to create a second bot, it's very easy. We just copy the bot. We go here and now we make a long bot. The other one was called this short and we make it now long. Also here we will make the strategy long. And all the setup is basically done. We just have to change this to long, and we just pick the long BitMex account. We don't have to do anything else. Now we have the new line here, and we just go back to the charts, and now we already have the strategy or the bot for the long trade. So I do exactly the same as I have done already. I go to the indicator. This is the green 2. I say greater than. I say value 0. I say once per bar close, and I will also just copy in here the line of code that I copied out. I make sure it's ticked, but normally if you did it once it will stay ticked. I create it, I confirm. Now I will again set up 2 long selling signals. It's very easy to do. I go on the indicator, I pick the TD indicator, it's called TE in this case. I pick the green 8, I go greater than, I go value 0, I go once per bar close, I copy in this long selling signal, I confirm it, I go back and apply the TD indicator, I go color flip, and I set it in again. But in this case, I want to show you, you don't even have to do that. You can go back to the color flip indicator we set up already. Let's see if we find it. Is it this one? Yeah, it's the color flip. Because we already set up a color flip, I just make a separator here, so a comma, and I just copy in the new signal here and save it. So I don't have to set up a new alert for this because I'm already firing this alert. You just have to put in the new line of code and everything will work. So I just create and start it, and that's all you have to do. And this is the way you can set up all your strategies. Now we set up a bot that will automatically all the time, whenever here on the 4-hour chart, whenever a red 2 will appear on your chart, the bot will automatically send the trade to the exchange. The bot will automatically make sure if a red 8 appears, it will sell it, or if a color flip appears, it will sell it. If a green 2 comes up, the bot will automatically buy it for you. If a green 8 comes up, the bot will automatically sell it for you, and our bot will also be able, of course, to sell it on a profit or whatever. And don't forget, we are leverage trading on 10x. So this is really a great thing, and watch out for our next features that will come. Please go ahead to your dashboard, sign up for our next webinar. I'm sure you can learn a lot in this webinar, and like I mentioned, you can do this with all your indicators. You can trade every indicator that you have on TradingView, where you're able to send an alert. I hope that was useful, and I see you in the next video. Have a nice day and happy trading. Bye bye.